we're like putting different things into words efforts. For example, for me, maybe it's different from Olga is saying.
Oh, definitely. But also, like, I think you still talking about the thing that like paying to feel like less obligated, right? Like for me, what you're saying is, it's like you already had several like dates and everything, like it's already a process. But you said that if you're interested in a guy, like you can understand if you're into him like in the first few minutes. So I don't think you will waste that much of his time to feel obligated to give more than just your time, you know. So I don't understand the pressure you're already like telling that you will feel. Sorry. Did I lose you? I'm not repeating it. Okay, next question.
Yes, but for example, if I see that I'm into guy, but still I don't know what type of relationship I want to have with him. Maybe it's just like a short one, or like so that's what. For example, if it's a short one, yes. If we're talking about like casual sex or whatever, so like I choose it because
even casual sex should not be that undervalued.
No, it's not undervalued. It's just like I choose it. It's so I need it. I want it. So like
Give it to me.
Okay, yeah.
And no, it's going back to Kate's point. It shouldn't feel like an obligation or like an expectation. It should be something that both parties choose to engage in.
For example, like for me, effort is like
Obligatory sex.
effort. Effort is
sad.
I don't get. Okay, for what about efforts? Like, what is it for you? Paying for dinner?
It's not even an effort. Bloom.
So like what?
Paid.
What is like
What
putting effort in like?
Well, actually, no. Didn't you bring up before? Effort is like leaving the house. Like I'm comfortable.
Like bringing myself.
I have to take the effort and the energy to actually leave my comfort zone to want to go out and get to know you.
Exactly, because I always know what to do to like enjoy my time. So like I'm consciously taking my time out of like my enjoyable, like I have, if I want to go out and have dinner, for many, well, not for everyone, but like I get an impression from many men that for them that they're going to pay for dinner is like a big ginormous, and I'm like, come on. Like for me, again, personally for me, I don't really like to go in a restaurant as a first like date in general, like
at first place.
yeah, I'm like
Maybe second.
maybe second,
Maybe
but
coffee at first.
exactly. I appreciate the maybe uniqueness or more, because like everyone, it's like give flowers for the birthday, you know. It's the thing that everybody think that like you have to give flowers for this, you know, this like the basic things. I don't know, maybe I'm just too picky, but also I always love the homemade stuff better. And for me, restaurants were never a big thing in general, and it's definitely not really special.
And maybe it's an issue because, like, for example, for me, it's very important how the guy eats, because, like, I don't like loud noises.
You don't want it to be sloppy?
Yes, or sloppy. So, for example,
It is a
like,
deal breaker.
yes, for me it was
Slurping and munching.
But on the other hand, it's like a good test. So, like, if it's the first day and I see like, oh, okay, bye.
Like you can always buy a hot dog on the way, you know. You can always walk and eat. It doesn't mean that the date should not include food. Like if we spend more than 2 hours, I will definitely get hungry. I love to eat. So, but to go and pay for a dinner, for me initially, I don't want to say it's nothing, because again, sometimes people struggle with money and like different situation, right? So it is a big effort. So I don't want to undervalue somebody else's effort, but for me,
it's natural.
yes, I mean,
It's natural.
and also I had like a lot of experience with different cuisine and restaurant, and I'm a little bit sick of it, you know, especially when the guy's like, it's saying 100 times like, this is a fancy place, oh my god, it's fancy. I'm like, bye. So this is like the basics of the basics, like that.
You know, wait, let me piggyback on something you just said, Olga, because to go back to Kate's point, I think sometimes the reputation of the restaurant, maybe you might say, kind of inflates the value that the man might feel that he's
Again.
spending. So then his expectation, to go back to Kate's point, might be, I just took you to like this $300 restaurant. Like, I don't just want to kiss goodnight.
So just.
You know?
Also,
but
get down.
but to go back to your point, I don't think it should start there, because I actually make the case. I say, to me, how you start, even initially dating, you're setting expectations for the relationship.
Exactly.
If I mean, I'm not a woman, but I'm like, if you took me out to like the nicest restaurants from the very beginning, I'm kind of thinking and expecting that you can do that all the time. So if you don't want to do that, you shouldn't start that way. You should take me somewhere that's more reasonable or a little bit lighter, so that way we can just get to know each other, and like what you guys were saying, save the dinners for like when you're getting to the point where you feel like, I think I really like you and I really want to get to know more about you, so I want us to have this time to really be with each other.
Yeah, it also depends on people, because sometimes if you go too little, like you feel like you don't even want to put too much effort, like any effort at all. Like if you just go for a walk and have fun, like I just had this.
Right.
Why should I spend 40 minutes driving to that park to do this when I just had, you know what I mean?
Sure.
But I get your point. But also if you put it that way, like it's the same way you said, like this is a nice restaurant and everything. If the girl can beat you with the money, which you might not know, like it will not make it really significant. So
Right.
you should not really put yourself in the position of it.
The guy,
I agree.
probably he doesn't know what will impress you.
Exactly.
Yes.
So maybe he
what
should
will-
ask.
Or just like casual, I don't know, casual talking, like walking, and then you know each other little by little,
Yeah,
and then you can
communication is
impress someone with something significant,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
which will work.
Yeah, I understand completely. It's just all I'm saying is, if you think like what might be significant for you, not necessarily significant for me, like we will figure
For
out.
example, food.
But-
Food.
Food,
That
yes.
is what
I do love food,
significant.
but sometimes for me it would be more significant to have something less expensive. So like,
Yes, food. It doesn't mean like
Like,
it should be
it just-
fancy.
but go,
Fancy
like,
or
but it's
whatever.
like a part of going to see some like unusual corner of the city. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Again, like it's less effort for you, definitely less money. So that's why for me, I don't put value in the money wise. Like it's
Like for
that's
me
why I don't
also.
see it's a big thing to pay for the dinner. But also if the date like is a crappy one, the situation is not good, you're also not paying for the dinner. Dios míos. You know.
Yeah, this is doubly not well.
Not really well. But again, I don't have trouble or like difficulty to tell like what I expect. Sometimes like I'm in the mood. I'm not saying that I'm not going out like in a cafe eat. No, I do, but I don't have trouble. What the word? Offering better alternative. And people or men do tend to say that they impress you with something all the like they tend to repeat the same thing, you know, like
So what they say, man.
like I got it, you paid for like I like you feel very important. I got it like 5 times. You said already. So
Did you know how expensive that bill was?
Exactly.
Let me tell you how expensive that bill
I'm
was.
like, I'm gonna help you out. It's gonna be my help to you. Hope we'll never see each other again. Again, if you have to say it so many times, maybe like it's not exactly true.
I respect
Especially
that.
if you don't get the
No, and again,
positive reaction.
the beauty and why we're discussing this and why we're going so deep into it is because this is how nuanced it is. Because it depends on the individual, number one, which is, we're learning how different you two are and how you both see it. But we also see the similarities though, and ultimately what you still want, like you still want to get to basically the same, more or less, end goal. But the route on how you get there might look different because you might be more casual in terms of, I just want to see how the energy goes and see how it flows. And you might be more like, his approach really matters and I need to know his intention. But don't be too aggressive in your approach because I don't want you to think that I owe you something. I don't want you to feel like
That's
there
what
should be an expectation. with
It's
it.
Also was.
I think it's the same with
Yes,
it's the
with
same
approach.
with easygoing and like take it casual and look how it goes.
Too much
I
is
think
never.
it's the
No, you don't want
Similar.
too extreme of either. You know, you want to find some type of middle ground where it should feel, I think, a bit effortless in terms of when you're in front of the person. But there's a lot of effort that goes in behind the scenes, like to get to that point.
Yes,
There's a lot of effort
yes.
to let me be charming, let me be engaging, let me be witty, so she wants to talk to me, and then I have to keep doing that when I'm sitting across from her. And then where does she want to go? I don't know. I gotta put some effort into that. So there is effort, but when you're sitting with the person, hopefully it feels like it just flows, where you can just more easily share with each other
You
and
should,
learn.